spending that extra money. Police. It's okay. Indian fella in a Mercedes, they won't catch up. Autophiles, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Chinese New Year, etc. I'm in a Mercedes EQA. Bo is on holiday. I'm in a holiday mood, so there's not going to be a review. Instead, I'm just going to be giving you a likes and dislikes. This was the first electric car that Mercedes-Benz Malaysia launched here. And I would say the worst, but that's only because they launched much better electric cars later on in the year. I drove this car Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and today's Tuesdays. I haven't recharged it at all. I still have 242 kilometers, about 60% of a battery left. So as promised, here are some likes and dislikes. First thing I liked, this is a very usable electric car. The range is just over 400 kilometers. When I got it, it was less than 400 because it wasn't charged up all the way, I think. But it was usable. I drove it to Klang and back, and I did go pretty fast sometimes. I wasn't babying it at all. I took it out of my chutes. I did everything that I would normally do with a test car. And where in a normal Mercedes, I might have half tank left, I kind of have half tank of battery left here. So actually, it kind of equates to what I would use in a petrol car. So I think in terms of range, it's very usable. On top of the range being good, as an electric car, there are some benefits, some substantial benefits. It's super quiet. You can go all the way to like 130, I would say, and it's still decent. So the speed that you get out of this thing is more than adequate. It's very usable performance, and it doesn't feel slow at all. It feels much faster than it is. So yeah, usable daily performance, very good. Quiet, fast, nippy, comfortable, all those things. Something I disliked, I think for family, especially if you think, oh, you know, I'm spending this much money, I should be able to get a car that my whole family enjoys. Your whole family will not enjoy this car, only you will enjoy this car. The boot is way too small for a full family. The back seats are kind of small. They look big, but once you sit in them, you see the limitations. Comfort is okay for the front passengers, but once you go back, if you have a family of 4, just skip this car. This is for couples and singles. And now on to something I liked. I think they packaged it quite nicely. I think the equipment levels are just enough. Brake assist systems going on, there's lane keeping systems going on, heads up display, wireless charger, AMG rims, AMG pedals, flat bottom steering wheel, red stitching, micro suede on the seats. It feels the part of a high spec compact Benz. So I think the packaging was done nicely. They ticked all the right boxes. But then there's something I dislike. For whatever reason, this high-tech Mercedes-Benz, it's got all this battery technology and electric motors, and when you lock it, it does this. And then when you go into reverse, you only get a reverse camera. When you're parking, there's no 360 camera. Like, dude, come on. So on to the third thing I liked, and that is the design. There have been a lot of electric vehicles launched in 2022 in Malaysia. All those cars are designed really well, but Mercedes-Benz design language just comes together in so many different ways. The digital animations, even the heads-up display animations, just everything gels so nicely. The fonts, the EQ branding, things that they've built up over the years. You see the gradual development of some of these things. Put it all in an electric car, it doesn't feel like a quantum leap. It feels like, oh, this was the next logical step. I've seen this Mercedes-Benz display, it's called Progressive. Usually I default to classic or sport in the petrol-powered cars. I just like seeing my Speedo and my Taco in a petrol-powered car. But the moment I got this, I got it in progressive layout, and it just makes so much more sense. You know, in an electric car, this is kind of all you need to see. And I found myself just sticking to it. In fact, this was the first time I actually changed back just to see that those options were still there. The fact that Mercedes-Benz have been planning this transition for years now, it just shows that they understand design on a deeper level than some of the other competing brands. And I think that's where you pay that extra 50,000. The other 50,000 is, of course, the build quality and materials and all that. The rest of it is branding. It's just the logo, because the other EVs are kind of catching up, and that's where the last dislike comes in. There are dedicated EV platforms like on the Ioniq 5, on the EV6, and then there are the modular platforms that have to do a lot of things. So this is one of those modular platforms. It has to be the GLA. It has to also be the A-Class. It has to be all these other things, even the EQB and the EQA. So these are the modular electric Benzes. And you know, they did a good job, like I said, in point one. It is usable, it is very good. But when you compare these ones to this, the Ioniq 5s of the world, where the entire point of the chassis is just to be the best possible electric car, these ones tend to win out. These ones tend to be more ergonomic, huge on the inside. They tend to have vehicle to load charging functionality. They can usually charge faster. They can do more EV stuff better, and the weight is all in the floor. The boots are usually bigger. The electric motors are not housed in the engine compartment like it is here. And Mercedes-Benz, like I said also earlier, they have some of these dedicated EV platform cars, like the EQE, EQS. Those are all up there with the dedicated EVs. These ones, it's hard to justify paying this much money for a EV platform that is not completely dedicated. I would pay 300k. I wouldn't mind recommending a $300,000 EV car, but it has to be from this section here. Those will give you the proper full-on EV experience. This is a shared petrol electric chassis, and that is something I slightly dislike. That's it for my likes and dislikes of the EQA. Sorry, no full-on review. Have a happy new year. Have a happy Chinese New Year. Have everything lah. Just have it all. Bye. Thanks for watching.